Hi, welcome to Improving Your Digital Ministry Seminar, Part 3. This seminar is focusing on answering your questions with everything from just getting started to how do you make your specific tools start accomplishing the church's mission and vision. And we're going to take the time to answer your specific questions and be available for consultation. So I want to start this one by reading an article I wrote way back on September 29th in 2020. And I entitled it Down the Road. I don't claim to be a prophet, but I do love to play chess. It forces you to look ahead, to come up with a strategy for whatever your opponent throws at you. Good players can set themselves up at the beginning with a strong opening or counter opening, and then they respond with well thought out moves throughout the middle of the game. Great players defend and attack simultaneously. They also never lose sight of the end game. They don't get distracted. The very best players study their failures so they can do better next time. Now, when I take the same chess mindset to what is happening now in the world of ministry, I realized some things and started to extrapolate what may be down the road. 3 things. 1, of course, the pandemic changed everything. 2, churches were forced to find new ways to reach people. And 3, things will not go back to business as usual, even when this pandemic is over. So, what do I see as the church's opening moves? I would say for the opening move, if your church is starting to meet in person, continue to develop and improve your hybrid ministry in the short term. Continue to stream, continue to post, and truly minister to that audience that connected with you during the pandemic, because you may have gained an audience you didn't even realize you received. Get ready to respond to upcoming challenges. And these challenges for the church, they could be another pandemic, another shutdown, a downturn in the economy, more restrictions. That could realistically happen again. So, what is your church going to do? Think about it. What is the worst that can happen? Persecution of the church? Being forced to go underground? Sure. More and more, the attitude today is that it's okay to mock, blame, denigrate Christianity and Christians. These attitudes are not going away. Now, am I being an alarmist or an extremist? These things are already happening in communist China. It's already happened throughout history. So, how does the church prepare? First thing, recognize it is happening. The attitude towards the church has changed. It has become much more suspect. And you got to stop pretending that it hasn't. And your ministry team needs to be on that same page. Therefore, I feel authenticity really, really matters. Prepare your congregation to utilize what they've learned during this pandemic. Study your failures, learn from them, celebrate your victories, share them with everyone. They are an incredible encouragement and inspiration. Churches who did well so far found ways to adapt. They found ways to communicate and to minister to needs. They endured much hardship and discovered new strength and faith and saw God move in their churches. Share those stories. Testify to what God has done. They are a powerful vaccine against the depressing news that hits us every day. Gather tools for what is ahead. Ask your team these 3 things. If it happens again, what will we do? Number 2, how can you be more effective than last time? And 3, here's the tough one. If the government does not bail you out this time, are you prepared? Many churches received a bailout this time, but that might not ever happen again. How are you going to pay your staff? How are you going to pay your bills? How will you pay for a building that's no longer allowed to be used? Are there solutions? Yes. I think there are many, and I can easily set you up with them. And these are digital tools that you can subscribe to, streaming tools, social media, church mobile apps, virtual church, to name a few. These are tools that you can use to communicate, tools that are better at interacting than others. But in the end, tools are just that, tools. No matter how much you spend on them, they're only effective when you use them strategically. I believe the real question is, how will we as a church meet the needs of people under these circumstances? We muddled our way through this last time. Think of this last round as a primer. It even got the most technologically challenged age groups on board. It stretched us, it unified us, it exposed our weaknesses, and made us recognize that we needed to find new and creative ways and solutions to minister. Now, as Christians, our mission is still the same: go and make disciples. That summation of what God expects of us is still the same. Luke 10:27. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, your soul, your mind, your strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. How will we demonstrate love to one another? Will your church invest in doing just that? Because it may play out that you can't physically gather anymore or are limited with mandates and restrictions. Internet. Seems obvious, but I know many small churches actually have not bothered to put internet in their sanctuary. How about tablets, phones, and laptops? I know a church whose congregation had no way of participating in the digital solutions that they provided because they didn't have access. So what did the church do? They simply went ahead and purchased inexpensive tablets for those in their congregation who did not even have a basic way of participating in the worship digitally. Technology teams. Many churches did not have a team that could educate the church body to use the digital tools or set them up. And now we can't afford to not invest in your tech team. New skills were needed and are still needing to be developed. Many church staff and volunteers never dreamed that they would have had to learn how to live stream their services, learn how to edit and post video, learn how to record and sync audio, learn how to use Facebook Premiere as a service, learn how to utilize a church app, redesign or upgrade or update their websites. Beyond the tools, beyond the technology, we need as ministry leaders in the body of Christ to learn how to adapt. Whatever the challenges are ahead, will you, who are called by God to lead, stay on mission? Will you be prepared in season and out of season? Will you take a look down the road?